All right, and the last chapter, Mintos Smart Cash, something that's about to launch fairly soon, and maybe by the time the video goes live, will already be on the platform. Can you talk about what it is about, why you launched it? A couple key facts.
Yeah. So we are launching it tomorrow. So basically, what it's going to be is Mintos Smart Cash is a cash management in a way solution. So what it means that we're going to offer you to invest in a BlackRock managed money market fund. And as a product, how it works is actually fairly simple. So you're going to get close to the European Central Bank key interest rate, which today is like 3.75%. And then as opposed to, like, if you put the money now in deposits, then first of all, you are not getting actually close to the key interest rate. Usually you get less. And then for deposits, you have to lock your money for quite some time. With Mintos Smart Cash, first you get close to the ECB rate, and second, your money is instant liquidity. So you can access it at any moment.
Okay, so the expected return for Mintos Smart Cash will be close to the ECB rate?
Close to 3.75% today. Yeah.
And how's the daily liquidity ensured?
So this is through the BlackRock managed fund. So BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world with like 10 trillion plus assets what they're managing. And then this euro-based money market fund is like 55 billion money market fund. So the money market fund where they invest, they also do invest in the same government bonds. They do invest in big bank deposits. So you're basically getting the same exposure, but it is packaged as a kind of fund. So it's technically an investment. And you get daily liquidity because the fund is huge and they have like a redemption policy that they can provide liquidity, and they manage this liquidity on their side as a BlackRock. So I'm super excited that we can actually bring such huge fund to investors because previously most of us, we actually could not access the money market funds. So you had to have, I think for BlackRock, the minimum was like 20 million investment or 50 million. It's like even for small businesses is not reachable. Today we can again lower the barrier and you will be able to invest or basically park your money with Mintos Smart Cash starting from €1.
And how did you manage to access the fund, the money market fund?
Just establishing direct relationship with BlackRock. So, yeah.
Can you talk about details in terms of like how much volume there is kind of like from Mintos side insured to be part of the fund? Or what are the requirements in a way?
Well, how they look at it is, of course, that we are a distributor of their fund in a way. So they look at, well, you have those 220 plus thousand funded accounts, and there is some assumption how many cash they're going to allocate. And what we do see that this product also should most likely for many investors will be a product which they use also just by transferring more money to Mintos because they see that they can actually get instant liquidity, and they cannot, like these days there's very few places where you can get access to the money market funds. So there should be plenty of influx, but let's see how it goes. So it's hard to put the numbers, they are very theoretical today, but if you look at our size, it's like good size already for the BlackRock as well.
How are the underlying assets protected?
So the underlying asset is obviously you are investing in, first of all, it's BlackRock managed. So BlackRock is managing the assets. So this fund is investing in corporate bonds, like very like AAA. So the fund itself is AAA fund. So it's as high risk rating as you can get. As a AAA fund, they are investing in government bonds. They are investing in deposits, and then in some corporate bonds as well. They might invest. And then the protection on top of that is that there comes this investor protection scheme in play as well. So up to 20,000 euros are protected under the investor protection scheme if something happens to Mintos, for instance.
Do you charge anything to investors accessing the fund?
Yes, we're going to charge like small 0.19% fee to access the fund.
Withdrawal fee, nothing?
Nothing. It's basically just one simple small fee to cover our costs, and basically investors get close to the ECB rate.
And due to the size of the fund and the access you have to it, there's a daily liquidity in short from your side?
Yeah, it's daily. It's not even daily, it's instant. So we will manage because we are keeping also other cash, which is not invested. So we are keeping also in the fund, so we can manage actually instantly.
So have you used the market money fund also for non-invested funds from investor accounts?
Yes, one of the businesses is that also changes the regulated platform, so we can actually use the money which is not invested because it's segregated, and there are rules which we have to follow from the Bank of Latvia that we can put those funds into like very low risk, like the lowest risk instruments, and one of those is we are putting in deposits, we're putting in the same money market, so we are managing those funds for sure.
When have you been using this particular money market fund by BlackRock?
Yes.
For your company purposes, when did it start?
Yeah, we have since we got the regulation regulated.
All right. What's your forecast in terms of the volume you will attract from investor side?
Hard to forecast. I don't know because we haven't really seen like what is real activity. So we have to see, even if we see like 1-2 days of activity, then we can do a bit better forecast. But if you ask me, I would say definitely should be in tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions, we should get pretty soon. And that's what we have seen with other platforms. There's been some numbers, what we have seen, some of the UK platforms which launched kind of similar products, they got into the billions as well. So for sure, it's a great product. I mean, what's not to like about it? It's kind of zero, as close to zero risk as possible. It's AAA rated. It's reasonably high interest rate, 3.75%, a bit less, and then it's instant liquidity. You cannot really get like such product in the market.
The ECB seems to, lower the interest rates now, and there's a tendency also for future decreases. How do you think this will affect, let's say, the popularity of investors going into the fund instead of choosing other alternatives?
Sure, if the interest rates go again back to zero, then not really interesting, but as long as they are above zero, then the money market funds, like more often than not, gonna be above the deposits what you get. So you have to compare what are the alternatives. Sure, if interest rates go down to, from 3.75 to 3.5, but then the whole economy goes down, then also your deposit rate is going to go down. So it's more about this difference between the money market fund and then like Mintos Smart Cash offering, and then what are your best next alternatives. And they should, like, irrespective of the rate change, they can work in lockstep.
How will the funds automatically be invested into the fund from investors' accounts, or how does it work?
No, we cannot do that. So investors have to specifically agree that they want to transfer from cash into the money market fund, because it's an investment you're buying, basically making in like investment order.
So will become an automatic, a manual investment, so to say. Will the interest be accrued daily, or how does it work? Interest
is accrued daily and then paid monthly.
Paid monthly. All right. Anything to add for the money market fund? What is worth pointing out?
I think Smart Cash, definitely what we are excited that we can bring such a huge fund. There's no easy access to, so that's, and work together with BlackRock to some extent. So that's exciting. Otherwise, as I said, I think it's a great product for be it your short-term cash management. So you have some cash. Usually, you have some cash somewhere available and it's just sitting there, and you don't know what to do with that. You don't want to put it in deposit because the rate is maybe not what you want, but more so it's locked. So you have to plan too much ahead. Here it's instant liquidity, and you get close to the rate what the banks are getting. And it is surprising that the banks, sure, they are paying less than ECB rate because they also want to make money, and then deposit rates are in a way banks are not paying to us customers as much as they should, most of the banks.